I'm Jim Williams, HurricaneCity.com. I developed a ranking system to determine what cities and islands get impacted by the most tropical systems. This includes all tropical storms and hurricanes, both brushes and hits. If this list were for hurricanes only, it would be completely different. Here's a graphic example determining what constitutes a brush versus a hit. Using the HurTrack program from PC Weather Products, including data from the NHC wind swath maps that are distributed during advisories, the Hurricane Research Division, and the HurDat2 reanalysis database, I used the wind range rings to narrow down brushes versus hits. If a city or island is within the skinny red line for at least a few hours, it's considered a hit. Anything outside of the skinny red circle is considered a brush, and this usually correlates with the NHC wind swath maps. It's important to note that when looking at these rankings, consider high-ranked areas on the Georgia coastline. They rank higher than some South Florida cities, believe it or not, due to the tremendous amount of crossovers from the Gulf of Mexico, also known as backdoor systems. Areas in the western Gulf and the northeastern United States don't get enough tropical activity to get ranked. Some ask, why even bother ranking what areas get affected by tropical systems? 1,000 people a day move to Florida. Many of them may not have ever experienced a tropical system or may have no idea the city they moved to is vulnerable. Times this by how many people move to the Gulf and East Coast cities plus the Caribbean, which get some of the most intense hurricanes. Informing people the further south you live, the greater chances of more intense systems and the more you need to be prepared. The difference between 1.30 years and 1.80 years return rate is huge. It's 36 more storms, which means you get one more storm every 4 years on average. Oftentimes a city will have the same return rate as another, so the tiebreaker system is used, which is for hurricane hits only. Here is the top 10 for 2024, impacted by 40+ mile-per-hour winds. Notice Bermuda and the Cayman Islands have the same amount of storms since 1871. The same goes for Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Savannah, Georgia. Whoever has the highest amount of hurricanes is ranked higher. Here is 2019 compared to 2024. Not much difference at all, except for a few flip-flops in the middle there. But all of these top 10 cities and islands have had roughly the same activity over the past 5 years. When we look at the 11 through 20 group, we start to see changes, such as Tampa moving up from 18 to 11 due to increased activity, and Miami moving down from 12 to 14 with decreased activity. The 20 to 30 group sees even more changes, with Palm Beach dropping 11 to 20 area 4 positions, with Brunswick, Georgia, Sarasota, Florida, Georgetown, South Carolina all moving up 4 positions due to increased activity. In the 31 to 40 group, just about every city has moved up, with the exception of Pensacola, which dropped from 37 to 41. To round off the top 50, Panama City Beach, Florida fell out of the top 50, dropping 6 positions due to a slower than normal period. But overall, on average, the most changes in the rankings occur in the 20 to 50 range. Of note, very few times do I ever have to use the second tiebreaker, which is major hurricane hits. Number 39, Grand Isle, Louisiana, and number 40, Stuart, Florida, have the same number of storms, 70, and the same number of hurricanes, 26, since 1871. But Grand Isle ranks higher with one more major out of that 26. Tiny Sable Island, Nova Scotia, located north of 43 degrees or 190 miles southeast of Halifax, is the furthest north ranked area at number 13. The least impacted area is the central Nicaragua coastline, ranked 139. And for those of you who are curious if it were for hurricanes and major hurricanes only, here is the list where the core or partial core impacted locations. Great Abaco Island, Bahamas leads in both categories.